What's going on, guys? Honky Kong here. Welcome back. What can I say? Another day, another crazy police shooting that's in the news. And I'm talking about the shooting of 18-year-old dumb dick car thief Paul O'Neill in Chicago, okay? Let me just say that I'm not going to lose one wink of sleep that this asshole was out committing a crime and lost his life in the process. I just don't give a fuck. He was out there in the game. You know, you're out there doing gangster shit, running from the cops in a stolen vehicle. You could get yourself killed, and that's exactly what happened to him, okay? So like I said, this is not even in the same ballpark as, let's say, the Philandro Castile shooting, where you got a dude who just was pulled over, following the police officer's instructions, reaches for his ID, and he's gunned down and killed. He's murdered, okay? This is not the same situation, in my opinion, okay? I'm not, like I said, I'm not gonna lose one wink of sleep that this stupid fucking criminal out there playing super gangster got himself killed, all right? But just because you're out there doing dumb shit, breaking the law, does not give the police the right to summarily execute you. And that's what it looks like in this case, okay? A little background, the dude stole the car. He was driving a stolen Jaguar, and I just watched the body cam footage. It was actually very telling, okay? Of course, the cop who fired the fatal shots, of course, his body cam wasn't working. We'll get into that in a second. But what happened was, where the footage kicked on, this dude's driving, there's a police car parked like this, two police cars parked like this. He drives by like this, one cop runs around shooting at the car as it drives by, okay? He continues on down the street. I don't think he was shot there. He wasn't shot there. He continues down the street after the cops shoot at him as he drives by and crashes head on into another patrol car that had pulled up, right? At that point, Paul O'Neill hops out of the car and takes off running. Police give chase. Some point as he's fleeing, the cops open fire and shoot him in the back and kill him. Now, I don't know if it's been confirmed if he was shot in the back of his torso or if he was shot in the back of the head. He was fatally shot while he was running away. I don't think he was armed. Now, watching that video, if you guys watch it, and I'll link it, okay? Pay very close attention to what the cops say as they're standing around the dude laying on the ground. Two things cops said jumped out at me as very, very shitty. The first thing one cop said to another, he said, "I shot at the car after it almost hit you." So that implies to me he fired when the car was no longer a threat, all right? Now, that was not where the fatal shots were fired, but that kind of just tells me they were operating on some shady shit when they said, "I shot after he almost hit you." Not before he almost hit you, not "I shot because I thought he was going to hit you." I shot after. I shot after he almost hit you. Okay, so that seemed really shady to me. And the second thing that really, really jumped out to me, Hispanic cop says, he poses the question to his fellow police officer. He says, "They shot at us too, right?" Like, they shot at us, right? So I don't know if they had guns or if somebody else was in the car with them and shot. I don't have that info right now, so my apologies for not having all that. I don't know if they had fired at the police. None of that info. I hadn't gathered any of that just yet. I don't know if it's out there because I read quite a few stories, didn't see anything showing that they were shot at too. But the police at the scene seemed to think that they were shot at, or at least they were operating under the impression, as one Hispanic cop says, that, they shot at us too, right? And I really couldn't hear if there were any replies in the positive or negative, like, "Oh yeah, they were shooting at us." So, to wrap it up, the kid who was killed, was a man, he was 18, was out doing some dumb shit and got killed, okay? But to me, what's worse, a dumbass car thief or a guy who, gunned somebody down running away from the crime? I mean, you could have a car thief versus a fucking murderer, in my opinion. What's worse? Obviously the murder. Now, we don't know how they're going to spin it. Props to Chicago police, though. They, per their department policy, I'm sure, they suspended the 3 cops involved in the shooting, but they released the footage. Get over here. Hey, my crazy ass child's out here. Get over here. Come on. They released the footage only 8 days after the shooting, which to me is very, very fast. Now, let me talk about body cams real quick. If I've said it once, I've said it a million times. All cops need functioning body cams. I found out that these police officers were part of a pilot program for Chicago to use body cams. So, and it just boggled my mind that a big city department like Chicago, where there's a very good chance officers will have to use their weapon legitimately, don't already have body cams. It's like, man, if you're a Chicago cop, there's a good chance you're going to have to use your weapon in the line of duty. And, you really need that evidence nowadays to prove that your shooting was justified. And it looks like they're just now rolling them out. One of the talking heads on CNN I was listening to on the radio on the way home said something to the effect of, "Well, maybe he didn't have proper training." I'm like, wouldn't that just be the case? They send cops out there with body cams and no idea how to use them. Now, that was speculation, so who knows? But the cop that fired the fatal shots, of course, out of all the cops there, I believe his was the only body cam that was not functioning. Now, people speculated maybe his was damaged. In the accident as the cruiser, as the cruiser was struck by the guy, whatever, we don't know. But we do know for a fact that the guy who fired the fatal shots, of course, his body cam wasn't functioning. And that's too bad, because let's be honest, man. With if that camera was functioning, we would already know right now whether this was a good or bad shooting. And I tend to lean towards the fact that this is probably going to be a bad shooting. Okay, so that's basically it, guys. In closing, you play the game, you run around out there doing gang shit, you could get killed. But cops, police have to apply deadly force with the same consequences as a civilian. If you apply it and it's not necessary at that time, then you need to go to prison, flat out. Okay, that's my spiel. Cops are trained; they know when to shoot, they know when not to shoot, and when they don't shoot, they need to be. And when they shoot, when it's a bad shooting, they shoot when they're not supposed to, they need to be held legally accountable and locked the fuck up. My opinion, and I think most people would tend to agree with me. All right, so that's all I got. Anything else breaks on the story, I'll link it down there. You guys be safe. I'm gonna catch you next time. Peace.